Getting all of the Data Slate collectibles within Space Marine 2 will get you the Data Miner achievement. And today we'll be rounding off our guide on where these are located, with the focus being on the operations missions, which can be accessed through the battle barge. So we're going to start with the first operation, Inferno. Right at the very beginning of this mission, you'll face a few Tyranids and eventually you'll come to these exploding plants. Now more Tyranids will run towards you, so take them down as quickly as you can. Shoot the plants if you want to, you don't have to, but stick to the right hand side and enter this building. At the very end of it, turn left and the data pad is waiting for you. The second collectible in this mission is at the point where you're defending the generators. You'll then get an objective to advance to the observation platform. So open the door and you'll come into these corridors with a few enemies. Eventually you'll come to some broken stairs and you'll enter a more open room. To your left there'll be an ammo crate and a tank. Follow the two ramps up and continue along the walkway until you see an opening on the left. The data slate will be sitting on the table. At the start of the next operation, named Decapitation, you'll need to go down the stairs and through the ruins. There will be a group of enemies outside the building who may rush you, but sometimes they don't, along with another small group inside the building. Take these out as quickly as you can, and then once inside, the data slate is located where I'm shooting, which is above the entrance where you came in. So take the stairs up and to your right, and then go straight ahead up a few more sets of stairs until you can't go any further, blocking any enemies along the way that may attack you. You can avoid a lot of these enemies on the lower difficulties. Once you're at the top, make your way to the balcony and there is another group of enemies up here, but so is your collectible. Later on in the mission, you'll be tasked with following the Hive Tyrant, which is a boss that you take on at the end of this operation. To know you're in the right area, you'll hear Captain Akaran say the following.
Pursue and eliminate. We will not have a better opportunity to finish it off.
Once he's finished, go through the tunnels following round to your right, and you and your squad can take out the enemies as quick as you can. Follow the tunnel around to the left where there'll be more enemies. And in the dead end to your right will be the data slate. On the third operation, Vox Liberatis, near the beginning of the mission, you'll have the objective find a way to take down the warp shielding. And you'll exit a lift, crossing over a walkway with an X on the pillar to the right. Cross the walkway and then take the ramp on the right down. There may be a few enemies here, so take them out and then take an immediate left. Carry on forward and go up the stairs. There will be an opening on the left with red lights, and the green glowing data slate will also be here. Later in the operation, you'll get the objective to activate the second console in time. Do this and then interact with the main lift to make it descend. As you're moving down, enemies will spawn in the lift area, so fend them off as best you can. You'll eventually reach floor 01, and this is where the data slate is. It might be easier to collect when there's no enemies around, but you can collect it at any time. To find it, look for this ammo crate, which is to the left of the lift controls. Another point of reference can be this blue lit doorway, which is also to the left of the lift controls. So if you are looking at this doorway, turn to your right and head towards the stairs. You may have some enemies attack you if there's any remaining, but the Data Slate is located on this console. The fourth operation takes us to this exterior location on Demirium, and you'll be making your way to the doorway that I'm shooting near. Assemble inside there and interact to open the door. You'll find a weapon loadout and then just follow the path into this room with the green light on the gate. At this point there are two ways the game can send you, to the right or to the left. The left sees an opening and some stairs, and it's this set of stairs that we're going to take. So make your way up them, avoiding any enemies along the way, and there'll also be a few more waiting for you at the top. But your data pad is in the far left corner on the floor. The second collectible in this operation is in this area where you see the Helldrake fly past you as you're descending in a lift. Avoid its fire and any enemies you may come across and make your way to this structure. You'll be tasked to ascend the structure as part of the main objective, but on the ground floor to the right is a walkway. The Data Slate is on a crate on your right as you enter. Operation 5 will see you start by following a Dreadnought who, after clearing the enemy waves, will open a gate for you. Once inside, interact with this console which will lift up some stone, revealing a hole in the middle of the room for you to drop down. You will have to face some enemies as you wait for it to lift up, but when you can, drop down and turn to your left. Take down any enemies that spawn and then turn left again and carry on down the corridor. The Data Slate will be there opposite the door. This area where you find the collectible is directly below where the Dreadnought initially allowed you into. The second collectible in Operation 5 will see you take down a lesser sorcerer and then cross a bridge to climb a structure. You'll climb the structure using the ramps, and for a bit of perspective you'll need to ascend up 5 of these ramps in an anti-clockwise direction. However, you're not alone. It's a mix of major and minor enemies, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. After you've gone up the 5th ramp, you'll find an opening on the left. The Data Slate is at the end if you follow this around to the right. Just be careful of any enemies that you may have missed while climbing up the structure in case they followed you. This Data Slate can be easily missed if you lose track of where you are. Operation 6 is back on the planet Kadaku, and you'll start by navigating your way through a sandstorm. There are also enemies here, so to find your way, follow the red flashing beacons. You'll eventually come to a door, so interact with it to open it. And once inside, turn to your right and diagonally opposite is another opening. Go through that and then turn left and the Data Slate is resting on the table. This is one of the easier collectibles in these operations missions. The final Data Slate is a little later on in Operation 6. You'll interact with this console and then get the objective, advance to the train. So leave the building you're in and drop down 2 levels to the ground floor. What you then want to do is head past this fire and right to the end where the pillars are. Again, there are a few enemies here to take down, and they are some major ranked enemies and a Ravener. But if you look out for this tank next to the pillar, you'll also find the glowing Data Slate next to it. That completes our guide on the Data Slates for Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Hopefully this and all of the other guides were useful to helping you find those collectibles. Drop a comment with your thoughts, or if you found any quicker ways to collect these, let me know about them. Until then though, drop a like and stay tuned to the channel for more videos in Space Marine 2.